Hello everyone. I welcome you all back to my channel Prerayati. Many of you have repeatedly requested me to share a video on how to prepare for the Mains 2020 exam. When I wrote and cleared the exam, I had scored 443 marks out of all the 4 GS papers, which was one of the highest for that year. So in this video, I want to share with you all the exact strategy that I followed for the mains examination in the general studies papers and what all I did that really helped me to score one of the highest. Let's get started. First of all, we must split the entire day into 3 portions so that we don't end up missing out any of the portion that is important for mains, be it the current affairs of the day, be it the general studies papers, all the 4, or be it the optional. So therefore, the first step that I did was to divide my entire day into 3 different portions. First was dedicated for reading that day's current affairs. The second portion was dedicated for my optional separately, and the third portion was dedicated for my general studies preparation. So like that, bifurcating the day or trifurcating the day depending upon what you want to achieve is very important. Otherwise, we end up emphasizing more on one subject and then completely neglecting the other. So to avoid this, we need to break our day into at least 3 parts. So you can do it according to your convenience. Now let me take my day part by part. So in the first part of the day, which is I used to get up at around 6 a.m. in the morning and then start my studies at about 7. So from 7 to 9, I would dedicate it for that day's current affairs. Now this 7 to 9, a span of 2 hours, again I broke it into 2 parts. The first part is from 7 to 8 a.m., which I dedicated to reading one newspaper and then taking the notes from that newspaper. So now many of you are saying that it takes more than 1.5 hours to make notes from ICAN. That is because ICAN is covering 2 newspapers. But because I didn't have the luxury of time to go through 2 newspapers and there were no such initiatives, I had restricted myself to just one newspaper, which was the Hindu. So from 7 to 8, I used to go through the Hindu, and then whatever was important, editorials, the portion in the front and the back, whatever was important, I would make a note of it. And how I used to maintain notes, I have already explained in one of the videos on ICAN on how to make notes. So for that, I usually maintained my notes in OneNote, in which I had created 4 folders by the name of the GS papers. So GS 1, 2, 3, 4 were the 4 folders. And within these folders, I maintained some sub-files or folders which were broadly covering the different topics of the syllabus. For example, if you're talking about GS2, then my sub-files under the GS2 folder would be Constitution, Parliament, Executive, Judiciary, NGOs, Civil Service, then Transparency and Accountability, International Relations, Conventions, and so on. So these were the broad topics that come under your GS2 syllabus. Accordingly, I would make these 8 to 9 files under the broader folder, which was GS2. So this is how I had segregated my notes on OneNote. And whenever I read Hindu between 7 to 8 a.m. and whatever important I figured out, I would copy it to my respective topic under my respective folder. So in 1 hour, I would finish reading the Hindu. Then from 8 to 9, I would dedicate it to the secure of the previous day. So I would complete secure of the previous day in that hour from 8 to 9 a.m. Now let me tell you why is it important to cover the secure of the previous day. The first thing was that when I covered the secure of previous day, I will obviously be recollecting the current affairs of the previous day. So I will be compelled to revise and go through the current affairs of the previous day. So even in my previous video on this channel, I had told you that there is a thumb rule that you have to revise something that you read today within a span of 24 hours. If you do that, it is going to get registered in your long-term memory. So that is why I always took up secure with a 1-day lag. So today, if I am doing yesterday's secure, I am going to be revising the current affairs of yesterday. So it is going to help me revise yesterday's current affairs. So many of us keep postponing our revision towards the weekend, and some of us never revise actually. So but my strategy was to ensure that whatever current affairs I am reading, I have to revise it the next day itself. So that is why I consciously chose to make or study secure with 1-day lag, so that I will get an opportunity to revise the yesterday's current affairs. So now in that Secure, many of you ask whether I wrote all the question and answers of Secure. So let me tell you, I did not write all the answers. So out of say 8 to 9 questions, I at max wrote about 2 questions. And secondly, I just brainstormed the remaining questions. Also, Secure questions are taken usually from editorials of different newspapers. As I was following only the Hindu, these Secure articles, the Secure questions that were coming, below them there is a link, there will be a link of the newspaper or of the editorial from which that particular question is framed. So I would go to that link and read the corresponding editorial, be it of Indian Express or Financial Express or Economic Times or Live Mint. So by this way, I was covering the editorials, the important and the relevant ones of all the other newspapers as well through Secure initiative. So I would go to that editorial page, read up the editorial, and then whatever was important, I would copy it to the relevant subfile or the folder as I had mentioned before. So this was my strategy. And also one more thing about going with 1 day lag of Secure is that some people would have already returned their answers on the platform. So that always helped me to check if I have understood the question properly and if I am going in the right direction. So this always kept me in the right direction to evaluate myself whether my thinking is right or whether am I going off track or am I wrong in interpreting the question. So these are the 2 advantages of taking Secure with a day lag, so that I can revise my current affairs as well. So this I would do between 8 and 9 a.m. So by 9 a.m. that day's current affairs would be done. So after 9 a.m. I would take a break of 1 hour in which I would have my breakfast and bathing and freshening up and everything. And then I would again start at 10 o'clock. Now, as I said that the day has to be divided into 3 parts to cover the current affairs, optional and the GS papers. And my optional was public administration. So if you have been in this ground of UPSC for some years now, you will be aware that public administration, geography, there are some optionals which have not been very rewardingly performing in the last couple of years. Or if I may say that they have been very unpredictable in their performance and also in the kind of questions that are asked in mains. So I was very sure beforehand that I do not know how much I will score in PubAd, but I will have to make GS my strength, so that even if public administration is trying to pull me down, my general studies scores should be so high that it is going to compensate the uncertainty associated with public administration. So this was my strategy. So I decided to give 3 hours a day for my optional between 10 to 1 o'clock, and after that the rest of the day I would give it to general studies. And also this was my conscious decision to keep optional in the first half of the day, because I know that I am spending only 3 hours for my optional. I wanted to give the most productive time of the day for my optional, because I know that I am going to spend only 3 hours on optional. So morning after breakfast till lunch for me was the most productive part of the day, and that is why I decided to give that part of the day to my optional, so that even if I am studying for 3 hours, I am so productive that it is almost like studying for 5 hours otherwise. So between 10 to 1 I would study my optional subject, and how I studied my optional subject is for a separate video. And after 1 o'clock I would take my lunch and then relax for some time, maybe listen to some motivational videos or see some random things on YouTube. And after that I would start again at 2 o'clock. So usually what happens is, once we have lunch we feel too much sleepy, and we are too much tempted to take a small nap. But I wanted to avoid sleeping in the afternoon at any cost, because if you remember your mains exam, you will have 2 papers of 3 hours each to be written in a day, and then you will have a 3 hours paper to be written in the afternoon. So you will have no scope for sleeping there, and if you get into a wrong habit of sleeping in the afternoon, it might reduce the alertness that you will go in the exam hall. So that is why I wanted to avoid sleeping in the afternoon. So, but however, I also know that it's very difficult to keep our eyes open in the afternoon after our lunch. So what I did was, I got into a kind of a deal with my friend, that my friend would be coming to my place at 2 o'clock, and then we would study together. So because I know that my friend is going to come at 2 o'clock, I would make sure that in that 1 to 2 hours break, I would not just have lunch and relax, but also I would just clean up my room and keep it very tidy and clean. Because our mind is also very peaceful and calm when things around us are very clean and neat and organized. So many times what happens is, to study various things, we pull out several books outside and they just keep lying outside. So this was an opportunity for me that before my friend comes and we start studying together, I have to set the room right so that we have sufficient place for us to sit and study properly. So that was what I did between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And from 2 o'clock, I would just be concentrating on my general studies paper. Now, how I did this? So, first of all, when we are talking about preparing for mains after prelims, then it is not that we are starting for our mains preparation from this day. In fact, many of us would start preparing for the exam at least 1 year before the exam that we want to give. So, for a period of 1 year, we would have done an integrated preparation of prelims and mains, in which we would have prepared our mains syllabus topic wise, syllabus wise, and even all the current affairs we would have accumulated of all paper wise, all the current affairs we would have made notes of. So in this time from 2 o'clock, I would revise with my friend all the current affairs related to the general studies that I have taken note of. Now, which kind of current affairs am I going to revise? What is my target? So here comes the role of the test series. Let me tell you, if something is the most important in this exam is the test series, and at least for me it was. Because whenever we have a test series, we have a targeted goal towards which we strive every day to achieve and complete our syllabus. If we do not have a target, we go very haphazard and very unorganized, and we also end up becoming very confused. So in order to avoid this, I would highly recommend you all to take up a test series or two. So I personally had subscribed for 2 test series, one of Insights and the other of Forum IAS. So I made sure that out of these 2 test series, at least one test series I am writing according to the schedule, and the other test series I am using the questions to brainstorm and prepare my answers. Even though I am not writing for full-fledged 3 hours, at least I look at the question and I brainstorm and prepare my brain for responding when it looks at the question. So therefore, every Sunday I had a test which I had to write, and that particular test had a prescribed syllabus, which is like about 1/3 or half of a GS paper. So therefore, there were a lot of portions which had to be read by the end of the week. So depending upon the target for the weekend or the syllabus of the test or that I usually write on Sunday, I used to plan the rest of my days. So how it goes, from 2 o'clock I would start my GS preparation, as I said. So Monday, for example, I will explain it with the help of an example. Supposing next Sunday I have a test on GS2, first half of the syllabus of GS2 paper. So GS2 is about polity, so you have to go through your Lakshmikant. You would have definitely gone through Lakshmikant while you're preparing for your prelims, but then I would still recommend you to just have an eye on the basic and the fundamental things, because many times when we are answering questions, we miss out the most basic of the things. So that needs to be cleared properly. So one day, that is on Monday, I would give Monday only to revise Lakshmikant thoroughly, so that I know all the basics and the fundamentals. My conceptual clarity is very much there, and I revise all the basic articles which are to be written in the introduction of the polity questions. So all the basic and the fundamental things I complete on Monday. The next 2 days, that is Tuesday and Wednesday, I am going to browse through the current affairs that I have read about polity for the past 1 year, of which I have already made notes of. So these notes I am going to take, and then I am going to revise the syllabus, the current affairs notes that I have made from the last 1 year. I am going to do that. So the next 2 days, that is Tuesday and Wednesday, I would have thoroughly done with all the current affairs related to polity, whichever is there. So the next 2 days, that is Thursday and Friday, what I would do is, see what happens, as I said, even while doing secure, when I read the other editorials, I am going to paste the relevant information into my notes. So usually my notes becomes very raw, wherein I would have just pasted some long sentences. Therefore my notes in OneNote would not be crisp. So that is why the next 2 days will be allocated to making my notes crisp and also revising the same thing. So on Tuesday and Wednesday, whatever current affairs of polity for that I would have revised of the past 1 year, I will be making a concise and a crisp note of the same on Thursday and Friday. So whatever I would have read, I am going to reread it again and I am going to make a concise note. To be honest, that notes would be so concise because each one of us have a different symbolic way of representing things. To give you small examples, it's like showing an upward arrow to show something is increasing and showing a downward arrow to show something is decreasing. So these are the commonly used ones. So like that, everybody has their own way of writing things. So in this next 2 days, that is on Thursday and Friday, I would make my notes concise from whatever was there in OneNote, which was more lengthier and just copy pasted sentences. I would just make it more concise, and that would be handwritten notes. And I don't think anybody else can understand that notes because I have made it very concise according to my understanding in writing such symbols which probably nobody else can understand. So that would be my concise notes, and it is very important to make such concise notes because on the day before the exam it is not possible for us to revise the entire notes that you would have prepared. So you will require revision friendly concise notes, and the best thing to do it is when you are preparing for your test series, do and finish your concise notes then and there itself, so that you don't have to worry about having a revision friendly notes later on. It will be ready for you by the time you finish the test series, and then you can just give multiple revisions of your revision friendly notes. So therefore on Tuesday and Wednesday I would just read the current affairs of the last 1 year, and then on Thursday and Friday I would reread it again and then make the concise notes out of it. Then I have 1 day remaining, which is Saturday. So Saturday what I would do is, if there is any backlog, if some of the topics or chapters of Lakshmikant I couldn't revise on Monday, I will finish that. If some of the topics of current affairs I couldn't finish on Tuesday and Wednesday, I will do that. If some of the note making is remaining, I will do that. And if I lack some clarity on some of the important concepts, I would Google it and then I would find more information on it and then I would take a note of it. So whatever extra I feel I have to do, if I have to look for some data, if I have to look for some examples or case studies, whatever it is, that Saturday is going to go for that, plus revising the revision friendly notes that I would have prepared in the last 2 days. So on Sunday is going to be the test, which has to be taken very seriously. This is the reason why I'm asking you to take a test series and have your weekly targets. So my test that I was writing every Sunday was my weekly target, towards which I strive the entire week to not just complete the syllabus of the test but also revise it properly and also make value additions to it and also make revision friendly notes for the test. So this not only helps you to revise before the test but also before your original examination that you will have to face eventually. So Sunday is just writing of the test, be in the right frame of mind, and then you would have already made the concise notes for your revision, go through that multiple times, take your test series very seriously. So if you are subscribing for a test series, it is not for fun, it is not to see how you are how you can write impromptu without any preparation. But if you're taking a test series, do take it very, very seriously, prepare well beforehand for it, revise your material and only then give the test. So only that will give you that confidence that you will need to carry on the day of the exam. So this is how my entire week was planned, and it was mainly targeted towards the target, that is to write the test at the end of the week. So if you are followed the Insights test series anytime, the timetable is structured such that your entire syllabus is getting revised 3 times or even more than that, maybe, or 3 or 4 times. So I have complete confidence that if what I need to do is just to follow a particular test series, and that test series is going to ensure that I complete the syllabus on time. So if some test series is making you revise the syllabus 3 to 4 times, then there is nothing like it. So what I used to do is not think anything else, rather blindly trust that test series and then stick to it. And then I have that confidence that if I 100% stick to this test series, it is going to make me revise multiple times. The same goes with the forum test series as well. Whatever be the test series, any institute, just trust it and stick to it and follow it properly. So that is going to pay a lot of dividends for you. So this is very important, and as I said, my whole week was directed towards that. And after a matter of 1 to 1.5 months or 2 months, your entire syllabus is going to be revised, and you would have written tests based on all the 4 GS papers. So next you can practice some full length tests, and then you are ready to go for the exam, because everything that is required for you to revise is already ready. You would have already collected the data and examples, you would have already made revision friendly notes. So once the test series tests come to an end, in the remaining amount of time, you are just going to take back those revision friendly notes which you've already prepared, and then just revise it again and again before the exam. So this is very important. So take up any test series and do take that very, very seriously, prepare for it, and then write the test. So this is how your preparation must be guided towards your mains. At least this is how I did my preparation for mains. That really helped me. Now let me tell you one more thing. As I said, I used to start studying from 2 o'clock for my general studies papers. So in that 2 o'clock, I also mentioned that I follow 2 test series, one to be written on the Sunday and another to brainstorm. So in that time from 2 o'clock, I used to take up every day some questions on general studies which I used to brainstorm. Now let me tell you why is it very important for us to brainstorm the questions. Because eventually in the exam, you will be given a question and you will have to answer it. So you will have to think about the answer to the question in less than 30 seconds, and you have to start answering the question. So it is better if you train your brain beforehand to look at a question and to be able to respond to that question in less than 1 minute. So this is possible only by brainstorming multiple questions beforehand. So every day I used to make sure that I brainstorm at least 4 to 5 questions. So whenever I see a question, I would think what kind of answer I would want to write. Now here the most important thing here is, whenever I see a question, basically we read so much over this preparation time of 1 year that looking at any question, we have a lot of content that comes into our mind. But what is most important is for us to be able to filter out this content, cull out the unnecessary things, and then write only the relevant information. So this is where brainstorming is going to help you. If you have practiced brainstorming, you know exactly what the content which you have in your mind needs to be filtered out, needs to be culled out, and what is that relevant content which you need to write. Also, many of us feel that you will incorporate diagrams in the exam, but that is not going to happen on the day of the exam, trust me. For that you will have to practice, and that comes through brainstorming. Whenever you look at a question and you brainstorm the answer for it, also think what kind of diagram can be written for that answer. So through such brainstorming, you will come to a point where, given any question, instantaneously you can imagine some or the other diagram that you can write for that question, which is very, very relevant also. So this is a power, or this is a advantage of brainstorming. Also, when you are brainstorming, your main focus should be on structuring the answer, because as I said, we would have studied so much that content is never a problem. It is just filtering out the relevant content and then making a precise presentation of it is the major crux. So whenever you are brainstorming, the major focus should be on how you are going to present the answer. What is going to be my introduction? What kind of data am I using to begin the introduction? How am I going to structure the body? What all dimensions am I going to use in the body? Because your answer has to be multidimensional, and you have to think from multidimensional perspective. So in what all perspectives or what all categories and fields or dimensions you are going to introduce in your answer? What is going to be my futuristic conclusion? What kind of value additions that I can make in this particular question, whether it is the case studies or examples or data or diagrams, what kind of value additions am I going to make? These are the focus areas when you are brainstorming a question. And trust me, this comes only through practice. When I clearly remember that when I brainstormed the first question, it took me around 15 to 20 minutes to just think about one question, and even after that, I was not satisfied. Because even after 20 minutes, I couldn't come out with a diagram to be written for that answer. But later on, as I did this practice every single day consistently, then I reached a point whereby by just looking at the question within a matter of 1 minute, I knew all the things, all the relevant and the important things that are to be written for that answer. And within that time, I was also able to think of a very relevant diagram or a pictographical representation that I could write with the question. So, this is the power of brainstorming, and you can develop this only with practice. Because through brainstorming, your response time for answering a question reduces. And this is precisely what you would want in your mains exam also. By looking at the question, within 30 seconds, you have to start writing the answer. When you are writing the introduction, you have to think simultaneously what my body is going to be. In the body, when you are writing the first point, you have to simultaneously think what my second point is going to be. So you require this multitasking in the exam as well, and then you need to think that way. And this you can develop by brainstorming. This is a skill that can be developed using brainstorming consistently every single day. So this is what I did with the other test series that I was talking about. Not just the other test series. If you just Google it, there are so many institutions that come out with so many questions that are asked every day. Insights has Secure, Forum has Mains, Marathon. Like that, several sites have several questions which are freely being posted. Use these questions and brainstorm and improve the response time of your brain. So it must be able to respond to any question within 30 seconds. That must be your goal. Today, as I said, the first day it took me 20 minutes, but then I improved it to an extent that I was able to respond to a question within 1 minute. So this should be your target, and you have to brainstorm questions. There is no alternative to that. So this also helps you to structure your answer in the mains exam, because many of the people, when they look at the question, a lot of time is spent on how this answer is to be structured. They cannot come out with a good structure to the answer on the seat on the day of the examination. So the best way to develop that skill of perfectly systematically categorizing the answer to a question is through brainstorming. So this is what I used to do every day, apart from revising the current affairs that I would have already prepared. Apart from revising the static, every day make it a routine that you are brainstorming at least 4 to 5 questions, and this applies even for your optional paper. So this was my entire strategy for the mains examination. If you have any other doubts related to how to prepare for mains, etc., then do message in the comment section, and how you have to organize notes, how to make revision friendly notes. These may be some of your questions. So if you have any questions, do put up in the comment section. Let's take it up sometime. Thank you.